Hello and welcome to MCPSS Athletics. My name is Calvin Chris, Athletic Director, Mobile County Public Schools. Studio today we have from Mary Montgomery High School, head football coach Brian Seymour and offensive coordinator Matt Malone. But first, let's get to our scoreboard. In second round football playoff, Viger did not have an answer for Demopolis' run game as they watched Demopolis shorten the game with a 56 run plays en route to a 28-17 loss. The Wolves finished the year at 7-4. One of the state's top defenses in Bessemer City shut down the Blount offense, upsetting the Leopards 10-7. Blount finished the year at 10-2. In boys basketball, Baker dropped an 80-61 decision to Faith Academy. Ifield led the Hornets with 20 points. Centennial lost to Robertsdale 45-38. The Wildcats were led by Bride with 17 points. MGM lost to George County, Mississippi 61-31. Lindsay had 14 points for the Vikings. Murphy defeated Theodore 70-66. Hawkins scored 19 points and had 12 rebounds for the Panthers. Moore scored 20 for the Bobcats. In girls basketball, Blount defeated BC Rains 47-37. Woodard led the way with 19 points and 15 rebounds. Williams had 20 points for the Red Raiders. Alma Bryant defeated Daphne 33-30. Miles was the leading scorer for the Hurricanes with 15 points. Norwood had 21 points and 8 rebounds as Viger defeated Mary Montgomery 65-15. That is it for this week's scoreboard. After this match, we'll be back with our first guest.
Did you know that the graduation rate for Mobile County is 82% and rising? That's because Mobile County Public Schools is equipping our students to be college and career ready. Did you also know that 144 of our AP scholars excelled high on the advanced placement exams to earn college credit? And with more signature academies and career technical programs, we are finding additional ways of keeping our students engaged. Building futures, it starts with us.
Hi, I'm Martha Peak, Superintendent of Mobile County Public Schools.
And I'm Kay Ivey, your Lieutenant Governor.
We want to remind you to use caution while operating motor vehicles in school zones.
And remember to observe all traffic laws relating to school bus safety and stop ahead when you see red.
Protecting and keeping our children safe, it starts with us.
Hi, I'm Pat Mitchell, Transportation Director for the Mobile County Public School System. Remember, stop ahead when you see red.
Welcome back. Our first guest today is the head football coach and athletic director from Mary Montgomery, Coach Brian Seymour. Coach, appreciate you coming out this morning.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Coach, you finished up your first year, and before we get into your year, let's talk a little bit about your past, your career up to this point.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I guess I followed in the footsteps of my dad. My dad was a coach, and I grew up, and he did all he could to try to talk me out of coaching. He tried to lead me in a different direction. So I guess I kind of started in sports medicine, kind of started in that angle. And I don't know, I guess being around him and him coaching, and just kind of went back and talked to him and said, Dad, I really think I want to, try the coaching gig and see how I might enjoy it. And he, once again, tried to talk me out of it. He said, if that's something you really want to do, go ahead and you do it. And so I started, working with him when I was going to junior college, working with him some on the side a little bit, and really enjoyed it, and just kind of proceeded. And I got my first opportunity out of college, at Auburn. Coach Lynn Lott was Old Macon Academy at Tuskegee, and ASA was relocating outside of Montgomery, and then it was making East Montgomery, and he called me and said, man, I need some help, and told him, my situation. I had 3 more classes in school, but he hired me anyway because it was a brand new school, and he said, we got 79 people, and I was kind of fired up, and he told me it was 79 in the whole school. So we had 19 players, we went 2-6, but we had a chance to start a program by the third year. We used to actually, with the influx of kids in that area, You know, we actually had an opportunity to play in 3 state championships, you know, and I guess fortunate at last we had a chance to win one, you know. But knew I really wanted to get in public school, and I guess first opportunity came about at Dallas County. Tom Causey, probably my dad coached him. We were close friends, and he gave me an opportunity to come to Dallas County and be the defense coordinator. Had a lot of success there, you know. He left and took the job in Andalusia, so I kind of was stuck up there. Now I'm from Dallas County, so you know, I entertained getting a head job, but it just didn't work out. Just, you know, it wasn't meant to be. So I actually took a job back in the private school at Pike Liberal Arts, my first head coaching job, and it was a rebuilding process. You know, they've been down for a long time, had 2 really good years, went 8-3 and 7-4, and made the playoffs both years. And but I knew I needed to be in public school, and of course, Coach Causey was at Andalusia. He had turned that program around, got it going in the right direction. So I joined him as a DC there, and we had a great run, and went to the semifinals. Really thought we had a chance to win the whole thing. Just turnovers hurt us in that semifinal game, and he pulled up and left me again. He went to Demopolis, and he really had opportunity. He said, entertained the job at Andalusia, you know, but I felt like the best situation was go to him to Demopolis and continue working with him because I really knew him well, trusted him. He was a great coach, and went with him, had a phenomenal year there. You know, did a really good job there. Of course, Demopolis takes a lot of pride in football, so we had athletes there. We really enjoyed it, and you know, the Andalusia job came back open, and I actually came back and got the job and stayed there 7 years. You know, 7 great years, enjoyed it, and good people, and you know, really enjoyed my time to stay there. Like I said, good community, like I said. But I guess when the opportunity came open at MGM, it was. I'll be honest with you, to me, it was kind of like Andalusia on a bigger scale. You know, it's just at the highest. 7A is the highest you can play, and like I said, and of course, you know, permanently they've been down for years, you know, and like I said, they ain't made a playoff in quite a few years, and like I said, I guess, you know, I always tell my wife I want to go to a place where I can build up from the ground up, and I felt like this was a perfect opportunity, and like I said, but you know, coming in here and getting here and then realizing, hey, there's a lot to work on, but like I said, I've been very happy so far. Our kids, you know, our coaching staff and administration, you know, trying to get us where we need to be, you know, like I said, you know, when had a whole new staff. We kept 3 guys from the older staff, but had to get 4 new coaches. And like I said, it's been a work in progress, but it's something we really enjoyed. And like I said, it's something that we look forward to in the future because we think that some good things can really take place in Sims, Alabama.
I was glad to see that you was able to bring some in. A lot of times we hire coaches, and due to teaching slots and one thing and another, we don't get to bring in our staff. So talk a little bit about your staff, those on your staff. I know you want to mention them.
Yeah, I got there, of course, I interviewed all the guys there, and the holdovers were Matt Dearman. Matt was, you know, he come from a football background also, and he stayed there, and he was assistant head coach, and he did our running backs for us. And he did a great job, you know, helping me from day-to-day operations, you know, inventory, just anything I needed, he was there for me. You know, on helping with the facility stuff, he was there for me. He did a great job, get me, you know, I guess used to the day-to-day procedure there, and he did a great job in that aspect. Austin Barber was the offensive line coach. He also is our strength and conditioning coordinator. He does a tremendous job. And like I said, he had a tough job. He lost 5 offensive linemen from last year's group, and so we had to, you know, get 5 new guys ready to play. You know, he did a great job doing that this year, and like I said, molding those young men up front because that's where it starts for us, you know. And then Marcus Johnson, Coach Johnson played at MGM. You know, he's an all-state player at MGM, and you know, went on to try to play. I think played at UAB for a little while. But so I kept those guys. You know, they had good ties there, and I felt like I was comfortable with those guys. And like I said, and of course, you all see Coach Malone here in a second. He was the offensive coordinator. He was our quarterback in Andalusia the year we had. They made a great run to the semifinals right there, and I thought it was a blessing for me because he understood what I wanted. You know, it would pretty much the same offense, same terminology. You know, and I'll be honest with you, I knew he's a guy. He coached with me in Andalusia for a year before he went to Georgia and Upson League, and I felt good with him because I felt like there's somebody. He had a good. The system was already input between both of us. We could work together, and like I said, I'm more geared for defense, you know, and then I pretty much was, you know, counting on him to take the control of the offense, and he did a great job with it this year. And like I said, really looking forward to the future with our offense, and we'll talk about that more a little bit later. But you know, and I guess another guy, Patrick Henderson. Patrick Henderson was 15 years at Handley. You know, he was the offensive coordinator there, so we was blessed to get him as. You know, that's just another guy on the offensive side of the ball. He's got a lot of coaching years under his belt, You know, and like I said, a little different philosophy. They were a downhill running team, but they were more compressed. You know, power eye stuff like that, and wishbone. They like to run the ball downhill. You know, single wing kind of stuff. But you know, so we kind of took what he did, and then I guess on the defense side of the ball, we got Nick Robertson. Nick Robertson came from Pickens County. He was the head coach there, and I actually got him, and he was the defense coordinator the year before with Patrick Plott, and they had won the state championship at Pickens County. So Coach Plott came and left and took the Greenwood job. So and Nick took over there for 1 year, and like I said, and he was just looking for an opportunity down south, and we were fortunate to get him, and he was a friend of Patrick. So that turned out real good, and we got Coach Mike Talbert from Central Nell. He was the defense coordinator there. He got a lot of knowledge of the game, so had a good defensive background. So that kind of worked well because we could transfer within the system. So, kind of piece everybody together, and we had to hit the floor running because we was already getting close, in the middle of close to summer practice, and so get the kids in the weight room, get them acclimated to kind of changing, as far as our philosophy, what we believe in. And I think, that was tough first year because you taking a senior class that had 4 coaches in 4 years, and I think that's a disadvantage to that senior class, and that's something we worked real hard, and I think our kids really tried to buy in what we were doing. Like I said, it was some changes, it was tough at times because people had to buy in what we were doing because we were trying to lay the guidelines what we want to build for the future, not just for this year, for the future. And I think that was a good transition for some of the players. Some people decided to give it up for whatever reasons, but like I said, I'm proud of the kids that stuck with it. I'm proud of the coaches because we coached to the bitter end, and I felt like even the last game of the season, we were actually getting better as a football team.
I agree. All right, Coach. Well, we're going to have you back in our last segment, and after this message, we'll be back with Coach Malone.
It started with me at Murphy High School when I came here as a freshman in 1973. I was very interested in math and science already before I came to Murphy. From Murphy High School, I was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy, was able to get my college degree and also my commission in the U.S. Navy from the Naval Academy. But it truly was the foundation that I gained here at Murphy High School that allowed me to take advantage of that great opportunity.
I'm Ashley Rich, Mobile County District Attorney. The failure to obey school bus safety laws will cost you. It can cost you up to a $3,000 fine and the loss of your driving privileges.
But more than that, it could cost the life of a child. That's why the Mobile County Public School System is urging you to stop and obey all bus traffic laws. Hi, I'm Pat Mitchell, Director of Transportation for the Mobile County Public School System. We're asking you to obey all bus safety laws. It could save a life. Remember, stop ahead when you see red. Our future depends on it.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft. To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60. Now I get it.
Welcome back. We've got the offensive coordinator from Mary Montgomery, Coach Malone. Coach, appreciate you coming by today.
Appreciate y'all having us, man.
Coach, tell us a little bit about you. You're a young guy, but I know you got a little past, so tell us a little bit about your career up to this point.
I played for Coach Causey, Tom Causey, who's at Pelham now at Andalusia. Coach Seymour was our defense coordinator my senior year. We had a pretty good little run to the semifinals. And then I went to Alabama, graduated there, and then I came back and coached for Coach Seymour at Andalusia. I spent 2 years with him, and then Coach Tommy Parks, who was just taking a new job at Upson Lee High School, hired me over there. I coached quarterbacks for him. So, and when Coach Seymour left Andalusia and got the job at MGM, he gave me a call. My wife and I came down, and we thought this was going to be a really good opportunity. We're from Andalusia, so it was a lot closer to home than Thomaston, Georgia was. And we really just thought God was leading us here, and so we decided to take the job here, and we're excited to be here. That's pretty much my short coaching career so far.
And you in a great community. Mary Montgomery Sims is a great community. Coach, what's the advantages of working for somebody that you actually played for?
Well, we have a really good relationship, Coach Seymour and I. He's a fiery guy. He'll come in on Sundays. He'll tell me what we did wrong, or he'll tell me what he liked. And
And every Sunday he's going to tell me, you know, what he wants to see. And like he said, we have the same terminology. We both came from, you know, Coach Causey's offensive system where, you know, we run veer and we run midline and stuff like that. And we basically have the same terminology, so we always know, we're always on the same page. And Coach Seymour, he sees the field better than anybody I've been around. He knows, you know, what they're doing to stop things. And as a young guy, you know, some things we see that I hadn't seen this year. And we just got such a good offensive staff, I believe. We got, you know, Coach Dearman, like Coach Seymour hinted on. He tells me all the time, you know, run the ball, stop getting cute. You got Coach Barber as an offensive line coach, somebody I can really trust. And that's big as a young coordinator, coaching quarterbacks, you know, and some of the skill guys, having an offensive line coach, you can just say, hey, this is what I want you to get done today. You get it done, and he does. And then Coach Henderson, man, he's been around the block. He's been a coordinator. He's called plays, and he's run you know, they ran a lot of I stuff, a lot of Notre Dame box stuff at Hanley, so he knows a couple different systems. And he's another guy that I can really lean on. Hey, Coach, what do you think about this? And he'll tell you straight up, that's stupid, or that looks really good. And so having those guys, as well as Coach Seymour, to kind of lean on has been big for me here.
I think it's an advantage when you got a combination of younger coaches and experienced coaches. You kind of lean on one another. And of course, Coach Malzone is made a living at bringing in his quarterbacks from high school and letting them be coordinators and
That's
things.
That's kind of how it worked out with us. You know, I think I need those older guys because, you know, somebody hops in something that I may have never seen it before, you know, and they can be like, oh, this is this. We saw this back in '96, you know, and that's good. That's good for me because it's just, it works well together. We got a lot of different personalities in MGM, but it was great that we were able to bring in a lot of new guys. And then the old guys we got, like Coach Seymour said, they've just, you know, they've really bought into what he wanted to do as a program. I couldn't be more excited to be at MGM. I told my wife this weekend we were going to the beach, so this is the first time that I've been really happy somewhere I've been. Great. As far as, you know, not trying to move up in my career or not trying, you know, I was at Andalusia, but I was at my hometown. It was just kind of tough, you know, and so we just couldn't be more excited to be here, man. It's been a great place to be. I think we're going to build a good program here. The off season has really begun on a good note. I think this week and this past week was as excited as I've seen kids, and I was just telling Coach, you know, they just hadn't had any consistency. And once we get that consistency, I think we can build a heck of a program at MGM. It's just bringing in that consistency, bringing in, you know, keeping the coaches together. That's the main thing, I think, at MGM.
And Coach, I think the kids through playing this season have seen that they can compete. There's been years where, you know, Mary Montgomery just, you know, tried. They were out there, but the kids, you know, first time something went wrong, it was like, oh, here we go. But it seemed like the kids are at a point where they want to compete, and I think that's the first step toward winning. And I saw a big difference in the kids this year, and that's a testament to the staff and what Coach Seymour has brought in.
I think that's the biggest part of the off season right now is that they saw, you know, real close with Davidson. You know, we threw every trick and play in the book at Davidson, and you know, we blew a 20-point lead to Fairhope. And we got overmatched a few times this year, but we don't have the depth some of these teams do.
Right.
So I think we'll build that depth. It's just going to take time. Had a great shot at Viger at the end of the season, and I think Viger's a pretty dang good football team. So I think that's what's got the kids excited. If we would have ended the season, you know, after that Baker game when we kind of laid an egg, then it'd probably be a tough off season.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. We're going to bring Coach Seymour back, and after this message, we'll be back for our last segment.
Did you know that the graduation rate for Mobile County is 82% and rising? That's because Mobile County Public Schools is equipping our students to be college and career ready. Did you also know that 144 of our AP scholars excelled high on the advanced placement exams to earn college credit? And with more signature academies and career technical programs, we are finding additional ways of keeping our students engaged. Building futures, it starts with us.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in a 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Tillman.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his Diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
I've got smartboard, that's right.
Welcome back to our last segment. We've got Coach Seymour, head coach at Mary Montgomery, and Coach Malone, offensive coordinator. Coach Seymour, kind of give us a high and low of your season this year. And you had quite a few highs and were just this close to having a few more.
I guess the biggest high for us was probably, I guess the win against Foley. I think that was the win, set apart, because we jumped up real good on them, and I think we had a really good first half. And then I think we, I don't say we relaxed. We turned the ball over. We had a problem. We turned the ball over. We turned it over, and they had an opportunity to get back in the lead. And I think our kids kept composure. And we took, we'd known to take some chances every now and then. We faked a punt on our own 20. And we're very fortunate to get a first down. We ended up scoring on the drive, and had a, got back in, got the ball back and got back in field goal range. And Tyler Whitner hit a big field goal, and like I said, and we held them off at the end right there. And I think that was a big win because I think it proved to our kids that we could play at this level. And I think once they understand that, I think week in and week out we made strides in that aspect. Like I said, but we felt like of course Baldwin County was undefeated. We had a really good game at their place. We probably played our best complete game that week. And like I said, we had a really good homecoming game against Bryant. I felt like our kids played really hard for homecoming, and so it was a good homecoming win. But it's quite a few downs. I think the start of the season, I feel like we let Davidson get away from us. We had 5 turnovers, and we just hard to overcome 5 turnovers. And like I said, but had opportunities, and I think, but the biggest setback I think was probably for me was Fairhope. I've done it for 20 years, and I just think. A 20-point lead. We feel like we was clicking on all cylinders on both sides of the ball, and it just got away from us. They hit some big plays, and it just seemed like we turned the ball over. One series after another, and they got back in the lead, and it just kind of fell apart. And I think our kids rebounded. I think they came back and played extremely hard the next week. And like I said, in the future, I think that's something we can always look back and say, hey, we got to keep it together. And I think it's more mental than it is physical sometimes. We got to be mentally stronger. I think that's something we really concentrate on the off season. But like I said, I was very happy where our kids finished. We got down 21-3 against Viger, and it could have got away from us. When our kids showed a little bit of composure and showed some poise, and they fought back and really made it. We had the ball. Well, it was 21-15. We lost 21-15, but we had the ball inside the 20 right there, and 2 big penalties really crushed us right there at the end. But like I said, we're making strides. There's no doubt. And we kept, it was fun because even the last week of practice, I felt like we was getting better. And I think as long as you see that as a staff, I think that's a good thing. That's something you look forward to the future. And I think, like Coach said, I think our kids finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. They understand. They taking what we're telling them each every day, and they're trying to get better. And they understand I think what we're trying to build because they know we're going to be there. And I think that's the biggest thing, consistency.
Right. Coach Malone, let's talk offense. What you ran this year, and I think your quarterback's coming back next year.
Yes, sir. He's going to be a senior.
And what your plans are for the future?
Well, I was telling Coach earlier. I came in. I was expecting to run a lot of run-pass option stuff, and be more spread, and still run the football, but have a lot more, be a lot more wide open than we were. And had some injuries, had some problems at center, and had some injuries at running back. And we found Riley Egan, I think 3rd game of the year. And once we found him, I realized, we don't need to spread it out and do anything crazy. Let's just hand the football off and try to move the chains, keep our defense off the field. And that worked pretty well for us there for a while. I mean, some teams, they stopped us, and we're going to have to do some different things this year in order to, adjust to what they did to us. But I think offensively, it's just going to be a spread offense. Hopefully we can get to doing more run-pass option combo stuff. But right now, it's just going to be let's see if we can get 3 yards and move the chains every time.
Coach, what about defense?
I think the defense we struggle. I think there's no doubt at times we had problems getting off the field, like I said. But you know, you got to realize, and that's why I try to tell the coaches, we had 9 guys with any playing experience at all this year that played the prior year. So we had a lot of kids that played for the first time, but we're very young at linebacker, and I think we got a lot of kids turning in the secondary. We just got to show up a few things, like I said, but that comes with time, that comes with preparation, I think, and that comes another year in the off season. So, we're not going to beat ourselves up about it. It's in the past now, and it's something we can grow on. I think our kids are excited about it, like I said, but we're going to totally evaluate our program top to bottom in the off season, from coaching staffs to players and everything else, and we're going to try our best to get it where it needs to be. And that's like, we feel like that's one of the top 4 teams in Region 1 year in, year out. I think we got the capability. I think we're in a great place in Sims. A lot of people are moving this way to West Mobile, and I think we're very attracting, because I think some of the things we do offensively, defensively, like I said, we're trying to keep it, like for kids to enjoy it. We want to go out there and have a good time. We want to coach them hard, love them up. But like I said, in the end, we want to be successful. And we want to be successful. We want our community to be, proud of the program we got and the product we're putting on the field each and every week.
Coach Malone, you mentioned briefly about your off season. What have y'all got plans for the rest of the year and also for the summer?
Well, we got it broken down in 2 groups, a black and a blue group, and so we got so many kids. In order for us to get them all worked out, Monday, black will be inside 3rd block and inside 5th block. And then outside, they'll be doing straight core lifts and all that inside. And then outside, we'll be doing a lot of CrossFit stuff. 3rd block, speed training. 5th block's all the CrossFit, hopefully kettlebells, some heavy ropes, a stadium, stuff like that. That's really what their off-season is comprised of. Really just building a team more so than just getting stronger is the main goal of the off-season right now.
Coach, are you going to lose a lot of kids? I know you got some good ones coming back.
We lost 22 seniors, but like I said, I feel like we got 8 back on defense, 8 return stars on defense. We got 6 on offense, like I said. But had some key losses. Of course, I think Riley Egan will be a key loss. He just played so hard and he was consistent all year long for us. Our kicker Tyler Whitner's going to be gone. It's going to be hard to replace him because he did so much in the kicking game for us. Kicked off, extra points, field goals, and punted. So that's something we got to replace. And I feel like Tyler Turner up front, offensive line, he was just a model of consistency up front for us. So, definitely we'll miss those guys. And like I said, but I enjoyed each and every one of them because they once again had to change and buy into a new system. And like I said, I was proud of them the way they did, and I respect them because they went through a lot of tough times as far as football. And like I said, I wish them nothing but the best of luck in the future because it's a great group of young men.
I say all the time with community schools, there's a little extra there because people sometimes want to get involved and all, and you're in a great community. You can talk a little about your community. And Coach, we got about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think Sims is great. I think that they've been great to us. They want to be a part of the community, and like I said, and they're hungry for success. And they'll do whatever we ask them to do. Coach, what do you need? Like I said, as far as feeding our kids, local churches have been awesome. Like I said, but so I think it's like I said, we're so proud as a staff to be a part of this community, as our families, as our kids grow up, for the strong school system. So, like I said, it's very enjoyable to be a part of it.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming, and our system's lucky to have y'all continued success out at Mary Montgomery. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.